Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna do the first book club episode of 2022 and let me tell you, January was hectic. I think I talked about this before. I wasn't like super busy, but I also was like so insanely busy. I have no idea what happened, but I kind of like fell off my schedule of like reading and like taking time for myself and stuff. So I only have 3 books for you this month, but I have 5 more recommendations from other people because and I'm gonna talk about that at the end of the video a bit more because I was part of this book exchange thing where you basically send one book to a person and then you get like random books from random people back, and so I got 5 of these so far. There might be more coming, I don't know, I have no idea, but yeah, so I thought I would add these books in here because apparently these books are like the absolute favorite books, are like really good books from strangers, and they might be like different genres and like types of books that I normally wouldn't read, but maybe some of you enjoy them too, so I thought I'd include them. But let's get to the books that I read in January. The first book that I read is The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. I started this on January 1st, so this was like actually like the very first thing I read. It wasn't that big and it's written like pretty easily, and as you can see, like the font isn't like that small, so I think I read this in like 3-4 days maybe. I really enjoyed this. I really like how it's written. It's not one of these like typical like self-help mindful books that are like kind of difficult to read. This is like written by like a normal person, you know, because the author Mark Manson is not like some scientist or whatever. He's just like a normal person, like a journalist, blogger type of person. So it's a lot easier to read than some of the other books, and the insights in this book were so great. Like sometimes there were like pages, like 3 to like 10 pages. I was just like, oh my god, like this is so true. I can like see a person like in front of me that's like exactly like this, or I can see myself in this situation being like this, and like really like having an epiphany of maybe something that I need to change, or maybe something that I need to react differently to because other people might not be aware of it yet. So this is a definite recommendation. I love this book so much. I think I've been wanting to read this probably since I started reading, just because I thought the title was fun. And there's like not like a second part, but like a second book kind of like this. I think it's All Hope is Lost or something like that. Oh, it says it right here, everything is fucked. All right. So I might be reading that too. But this is a definite recommendation. I really like it. It's easy to read in English since it's not as complicated. And yeah, so really love this book. The second book that I read is very different, and it's The Power of Now. I've had this book on my shelf for quite a few weeks now, and I really enjoyed it too. It's written like a little bit more difficult, and I have found out that the author is German, and I'm reading the book in English, but I'm like a native German speaker, so it's kind of like full circle, I don't know. So it's not like the original thing, but I like reading about like spiritual stuff more in English. I don't know why. It just is more fitting because German, I feel like, it's not like a very spiritual language. But this was also really great. It was really eye-opening. I feel like I see things very different now. Not like all things, obviously, but like some things. And I've had like experiences now where I'm like, that's what the book talked about, and I can like feel it now. I'm more aware of it. So if you're like kind of getting into, I don't want to make it like sound all woo-woo, but if you're like into spiritual stuff and like angel numbers and I don't know, manifesting maybe, and fate and all of those type of things, I would definitely read this book. It's really good. I really enjoyed it. And yeah, what I also really like, let me see, oh, here it is. The book has like these little like signs in it like all the time, and it's a sign that like tells you to take like a rest and wait for a couple of seconds before you keep on reading, and to just kind of process what the author has said. And I really like that because it's just like, obviously you do that like normally in a book. Sometimes you just like take a break for a second and like think about that, but like actually intentionally stopping and thinking about like the chapter again, or like maybe reading it again, and or like looking up words, or like just making sure that you understand everything, and that just kind of letting it sink in is just so nice if you're doing it like actually like intentionally. So yeah, I really like this book too, really recommend it. Yeah, also I'm gonna link all of the books down below. I forgot to mention it before, but all of the books are linked. And then the third book that I read was Make Your Bed. This book is so pretty, first of all, but I actually removed like this paper cover. Let me show you. So it's like this thing, because I was scared that it was gonna break, and like it already is starting to like not rip but like break a little bit, but it's so pretty. I want to keep it this way. But this book was also amazing. It's pretty short, it's 10 chapters. I don't know if you can see, like compared to another book, it's like really small, and the font is like pretty big. I can't find a page with writing on. So it looks like this, but I really like this book. So it's basically Admiral William H. McRaven had this speech at his university where he graduated, like I don't know how many years earlier, but he had a speech at the University of Texas, I believe. Okay, it doesn't say it. Yes, University of Texas. And so he did the speech there all about like his military like experiences and like the lessons that he learned, 10 lessons basically, and he kind of expanded those into this book. And I really like this book because they're like, he says things that are kind of obvious, but I feel like somebody needs to tell you those things so that you're actually like conscious of them, like aware of them. And it's the same thing with The Power of Now too. Like, you know most of these things already, but just hearing it or reading it from somebody else just makes it click. I don't know, or maybe it's just me, but I really like that book too. So Make Your Bed is also really a great recommendation. This, I could have finished it in one day. I didn't want to because I kind of wanted to drag it out and enjoy it a little bit more. But this is like a really quick read, and the stories that he told were like really inspiring, because obviously if you're in the military, you're gonna have like a lot of very hard or like difficult experiences, especially if you're like in war, like having to make difficult decisions. And the way he like talked about it and also talked about some of his colleagues was really inspiring. So I really liked this book, and it's a definite recommendation. All of these books are really 10s out of 10s, 10 out of 10s. I don't know. They were all really great, and I would actually, I'm not gonna give any of those away. I'm gonna keep them and probably read them like 5 times more, not right now, but like in like a couple months or maybe like a year or so, I'll definitely read them again. So yeah, those were my recommendations, like the books I read in January. And now let me tell you about this book exchange thing. So I came across on like a friend's page on Instagram, or on his story actually. He posted that he's looking for like people to do book exchange, and I'm guessing that it came from like some people before. But how it works is you get like this message that you post an Instagram story saying you're looking for people for book exchange. Then you send the people that reply to the story a message with 2 addresses. One is a stranger's address, and then one on the bottom is your own address, and you're gonna basically like over the course of time switch out the addresses, and then it like kind of rotates and everybody gets books. And what you do is you just send like one person like your favorite book. It can be something that you have at home or something that you just send them like through Amazon or something. And I actually didn't know that you can like send other people things from your Amazon account. But yeah, you can. So that was news for me. And basically I sent one of my favorite books, The Truth About Everything by Brianna Wiest, to this girl that was like in the message that I got, and then I switched out her address for somebody else's address and put my address on the bottom, and then I got all of these books so far. There are 5 books, and they're all really different, and I'm so excited to start them. I think I have them like kind of in the order that I got them. Let me switch them around. Oh no, actually this one was the first one. And so I have no idea if there's more books coming, because possibly like with an Instagram story, you know, it's like 24 hours, and then if somebody posted like after that, then it's another 24 hours, and then like it goes by, like some days go by, and then maybe you like can't send it right away or something. So I have no idea if more books are coming, but I only sent like 1 book and I got 5 back, so I'm like already super happy. And the first book that I got was this one. It's called Good Against North Wind. This is a German book. And it's, let me read for a second here. There's like these 2 teenagers, I think, and they start like not like a, what's it called, pen pals, but like email pals basically, and it turns into this kind of like love thing, and then they meet for the first time. As I said, I haven't read any of these yet, but then they meet for the first time, and then apparently something's gonna happen, obviously. So yeah, this is the first recommendation from somebody. Actually, this was one of the books that I got through Amazon, and I like kept the little notes that the people sent me because it was so like cool. I've never experienced this before. And so this person said, "Dear Viola, this book you'll get through the book exchanges on Instagram. I hope you haven't read it already and you don't know it yet, and I hope you like it. I really recommend it. And also apparently there's a second part, which is called All Seven Waves. Yeah, and then the person like signed their name and stuff. So it was like so fun to getting a book and like having somebody else like write a message and sign it and stuff. So yeah, that was the first book. The second book that I got is this one, The Secret History. I actually have like seen this book a couple of times before, and the cover feels so nice. Like it's this kind of like special material. I guess only graphic designers like really are into like the texture and how paper feels. But yeah, the cover feels really good, really nice. And this is under the influence of the charismatic classic professor, a group of clever, eccentric misfits at an elite New England college discover a way of thinking and living that is a world away from the humdrum existence of their contemporaries. But when they go beyond the boundaries of a normal morality, their lives are changed profoundly and forever. And the first like review on the back of the books, it takes my breath away and it's so accomplished. So I'm thinking, I don't know, it kind of a little bit reminds me of what's it called, something with poetry. Oh my god, I can't think of it now. It's a movie. I'm gonna put it like here. I'm gonna put a screenshot of the title here. But so I think this is gonna be also really interesting. I'm really excited to start this. This might actually like be one of the next ones on my list to start reading. Then this was also from Amazon, I think. Yeah, so I have another little note here. I glued all of the notes that I got into like the front pages of the book just so I can like remember who I got it from. Usually they only said like their like first names or nicknames, but I don't know, I just connected with the name and it's just really nice. So this one is the third book that I got, and it's called Prada, Pumps and Baby Powder. This one was like a handwritten note, so cute, I love it. And so this one basically is about this lady, or no lady, she has like a kid, and she's like this rich housewife that like just had a baby, but somehow she finds out that her like the woman that helped her birth her baby, I can't think of what it's called right now, she somehow like is involved with the first lady's husband. So yeah, interesting, definitely. And the girl said that she really liked this. She had so many favorite books that she just like packed a bunch of them and like sent them to random people. But yeah, so I'm really interested in this book as well. It's a little bit different than what I usually would read, but I feel like this is gonna be kind of like, you know, a Netflix show that has like a lot of drama, and I'm really excited for it. Then the fourth book that I got, look at this cover. I love it. It's so pretty. I love the colors. And it's called Der Steppenwolf. I'm gonna put like the English title somewhere. And it doesn't even say like what the book is about. It just says there's only a few books that change us, give us strength, that change us and give us strength to change our lives. And this book is one of them. So that's all that I know about this book. All right, let me read again an Amazon note here. This person said, thank you for the idea of a book exchange. It wasn't my idea, I just reposted it. But I guess like the way that the first message was written kind of made it like seem like it was my idea. And I also thought at first that it was the person's idea that I like found the story through just because of how the message is written. But yeah. So he says that this is one of his absolute favorites and he hopes that I will like it as much as he likes it, and all the best, like wishes and stuff. So yeah, I have no idea what this book is about, but I just love the cover. Like this is such like an aesthetically pleasing book, and also like the different blue tones, I love it. So I don't even care if this book is like good or not. I'm guessing that it is, but even if it's not, it's just so pretty. I like having it. Thank you so much. And then the last one I actually got in today, and it's And Your Time Runs Out. I'm also gonna put the English title here because I don't think that that's the actual English title. And it's a thriller, and I haven't read what it's about yet. So the truth about her mother was life-shattering. Ooh, dramatic. So it's about this TV journalist that's looking for her mother that she has never met, and like in her job everything's perfect, but suddenly she like has to report on this murder case, and apparently this lady killed her really rich husband like brutally, and then like everything like bundles up and everything happens at once, and suddenly this process, like this case leads her to her mother, and then suddenly she's like in danger herself. So this, I feel like, is one of the books that you cannot stop reading. The girl also sent me like a handwritten message. She says that she hopes that I haven't read it yet, but she thinks that books like these normally like don't find their way into people's bookshelves that easily. It's really, really like gripping, and it's her first non-child book that she read, so I'm guessing that this girl is like not as old yet. But yeah, so I'm really excited. I also love this color in here. So pretty, so many pretty books. But yeah, so I feel like this is one of those books that you like really soak up. I read, what was it? The one with like the pretty white cover. I'm gonna put a picture right here. I feel like it's gonna be kind of like that, where you just can't stop reading and you need to know like what's happening. But yeah, so those were all of my books that I read and the 5 book recommendations from other people that I had. I'm gonna do like more in-depth reviews on these books, obviously, when I read them, once I read them. But yeah, I just thought maybe you guys would be interested in those, because those, I mean, they are kind of books I will pick. This one, obviously, I will pick because I love crime books. This one is just pretty. So yeah, I definitely might have found these books somewhere, but I probably wouldn't. Let's be clear here. But yeah, I thought maybe you would enjoy some recommendations from other people, and as I've said, these 3 are the books that I read this month. 10 out of 10s, all of them, and it's currently, I think, February, what's today? February 7th or something, and I'm already like, I've almost read 2 books because I was on this little like self-care retreat weekend last weekend, until yesterday actually. Today's Monday, and so I read a lot of books, like a lot. I just read like a lot of pages. I have this book, I'm so excited to tell you about this, like once I find out how it ends. But I started this book, I found it like randomly, like I was just like rearranging stuff in the room I was in, and then I found it and I was like, I'm gonna read this. At first I also thought the cover was pretty, but the story, I read like 100 pages like at once. I did not stop once, and then I like went out, I took a little walk, I sat by the lake, it was freezing cold, but I read another 100 pages there right away. So I'm really excited about this book. I'm really excited to tell you the story. It had me. The first 100 pages were like kind of slow, but like so interesting, but like not that much happened, and then within like 2 or 3 pages, like the biggest plot twist happens, and I was a little bit like, ooh. So I had to keep reading, obviously. So I'm really excited to tell you about that next month. But yeah, those are the books that I read in January. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.